Okay, generally, UK garages are pretty small, which meant fitting my Tesla Model 3 into my garage was a bit of a challenge. So because of that, I've come up with 8 tips that will help you fit your new Tesla into your tiny garage. If anything in this video is filmed a bit weird, it's just because we're trying to protect our privacy and not show too much of the outside of our house. So here's the garage. There's not much to play with. It's not a very pretty garage, I'm aware. We only moved in like 6 months ago. Maybe we'll do it up a bit in the future. And then this is the Tesla in the garage. Yeah, it's pretty snug. There's definitely not much room to play with, and getting out of the car is a challenge, so I'll be going through how to make that a bit easier for you later on. So my garage from the wall to the step is about 85 inches, which is about 2,159 millimeters. And lengthways, it's actually slightly longer than my tape measure, which ends at 197 inches, which is about 5,000 millimeters. In comparison, according to online, the Tesla Model 3 is 4,694 millimeters long and 1,849 millimeters wide. I tried to check whether this included the mirrors or not, but I need an extra person, so the data's not that reliable. I always drive forwards into the garage rather than reversing it in, but I guess you can do whatever suits best for your own situation, because just about all of the techniques should work either way. Anyway, here are the 8 tips for getting the Tesla into the garage. Folding mirrors. If you need to get into a tight space, then folding the mirrors in gives you an extra few inches. You can fold the mirror in 2 ways, either by the new voice control. Fold mirrors. Or you can go to quick controls and click fold from there. But what's very handy is once you've clicked fold, you can then instruct the car to always fold in its mirrors automatically as soon as you reach this specific location that you're currently in. So if you imagine this little road was right outside my garage, now whenever I approach the garage, the mirrors fold in because it knows that I'm about to try and drive inside. Second tip, help from a friend. I find this very handy, but every time I get home, Becky stands at the front of the garage, I drive in slowly, and Becky kind of guides me in. Using the sensors on the car, I could probably do this without Becky, but I just feel a lot more confident, and it's a bit quicker when Becky's there to help out. If there isn't someone there, then I suppose you could put a big mirror against the wall so that you can see yourself whether you're lined up. Now, I know what people are going to say at this point. Because it's such a tight space and it's difficult to get out the car, why don't you just use the summon feature to drive the car straight forwards without you actually in it? So I did try this when we first got the car, and driving straight forwards, basically the car refused to summon because it was too close to the wall. But moving on to our next tip, the car will successfully summon in reverse. So you can see here I'm stood behind the car using the summon feature on my phone to make it go backwards out of the garage, and then it's really easy for me to get in once I'm outside. We'll put a timer here so you can see how long this entire process takes. There was a software update for summon recently, and it seems to have made this process take a bit longer because it kind of stops and starts a little bit more. Quite often it will just stop randomly and I have to start it back up again, but overall it's nice and easy to do, and it actually gives a useful purpose to summon rather than it just being a gimmick all of the time. So you probably already noticed I'll end up some foam against the wall where the driver's seat is so that I can open the door against the foam without the wall damaging the door. I just used acoustic foam and then acrylic spray. I'll leave a link to both of those in the description. But even then, it's still a very tight space. So the next thing that really helps out is setting up easy entry. So as soon as I unclip my seatbelt, the driver's seat and the steering wheel both move backwards to give me a little bit extra leg room so that I can swing around a bit easier because I'm 6 foot tall. I acknowledge that I am quite thin, so if you're a bit porkier than I am, then you might have slightly more difficulty here. Setting up easy entry is just within your driver profile settings, by the way. It's really simple to do. This next one's optional. It depends how clean you like your car and how muddy your shoes are. But if you've got a really tight space and the door can't go any wider, you are going to have to put your feet along this little bar. So if you take your shoes off, you won't get any scrapes down there. Also, when getting out of the car, opening the window makes a massive difference because the door becomes about half the size. And then once you're out the car, you can just reach through and you can click the automatic window to go all the way back up. And final tip, which is also optional because it is a bit more expensive, is get an electric garage door. It just feels a lot more convenient because you don't have to get out of the car when you get home. You just keep a button in your car to press and you can get ready to slide in, and you can close the door behind you easily once you've got out. Obviously prices will vary depending on a lot of factors, but it cost £1,350 to buy and install my electric garage door. That's it. That's all I've got. Hopefully you found some of those useful if you do have a small garage. If there's any suggestions that you have that I've maybe not thought of, then please let me know in the comments down below. If you've got any questions or suggestions for future videos, post them in the comments and I'll try and and get back to you. And also please subscribe to this channel because we are very, very close to 100,000 and I would like an excuse to get another one of these. Thanks for watching this more serious video. If you want to see something a bit sillier, then we shoved our mate into the front and drove around with him in there, so that's linked here if you want to see it. Alright, see you later.